We're good. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and talk about I'm going to talk about agents right now that are looking to get out of the business. So, one thing that we have noticed a lot lately is that a lot of agents that just got into the business in the last 3 years or so are jumping ship. They're getting out of the business. They're putting their licenses inactive so that they can have what they feel is a more secure, steady job with a steady income. And where they're going to work are places like restaurants, retail, other service industries. They're working in essence for peanuts, and they're working under someone, so they're not setting their own hours. They're not working with people whom they choose to work with, and they're limiting themselves in their potential earnings.
Let me ask you a question. Can you not do both?
You can do both. For example, we have an agent on our team, and they have a part-time job that they work from home. So real estate for them works really well because real estate, you can pretty much set your own hours. I mean, you can be flexible. And the part-time job that they have is somewhat flexible as well, as long as they're getting their work done, during the period of the day, they're fine. So yeah, you can definitely work real estate as a part-time job. Are you going to be as successful at it as if you were full-time? No, not in this market, because in this market, real estate agents really actually have to work. So, it's not like it was 6, 9, 12 months ago when the business just kind of came to you. You knew people that wanted to buy and sell. People needed real estate agents. A lot of good real estate agents that are seasoned and have a pretty good database were too busy to take on new clients.
So what happens do you have to be in the real estate game for a certain amount of time before your license becomes inactive and you have to retest or redo something to get back into the game?
Yeah, you do. If you put your real estate license inactive, you do have a certain amount of time before you have to take the course all over again, pass the real estate exam, and then also take the 25 hours continuing education right after.
And none of that's free, I'm assuming.
No. It's, real estate school is, it's not expensive. It's, just under $1,000. But there's other fees that you have to take into consideration. For example, your E&O insurance, that runs you, I think, like $600 a year. If you want to belong to a board and be a realtor, not just a real estate agent, that's about $400 a year. And then, of course, there's also office dues. So if you want to have some support and work with a brokerage firm that gives you some training and some support, you're going to pay anywhere between probably $100 and $175 a month.
So you've got people who have a license, who have already put in that money and that time, have gotten their license, but they're worried about the housing market, so they're leaving it for the restaurant market and retail market, which is still a service-based, could go up in flames at any point in time market.
Correct. So here's what I don't understand. If you have the potential of selling a, let's just say, median price is almost, let's round up a little bit, $600,000. So the average commission is about 2.7% of what the sales price is. And I'm saying that because sometimes it's 3%, sometimes it's 2.5%. Geez, that guy almost friggin' hit me. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. He came out hard.
God. So anyway, let's just say 600,000 times 2.7% is what? Maybe I'm going to pull a number out of my head.
But
Yes, out of my butt. And I'm going to say it's maybe close to about $16,000. My question is, if you're working at Macy's, how many hours do you have to work before you make $16,000?
That's the problem. A lot of these people aren't thinking that far ahead. They're thinking, if I'm not selling this many houses a month, oh no, I can't make it. But if you really stop and think about it, if you're leaving a job where you can make $16,000 in one sale, yeah, it might take you 3 weeks, 6 weeks, but if you can make $16,000 off of that versus working, most places aren't hiring full time. Most places you're going to get maybe 20 hours, 25 hours if you're lucky. So you're going to need 2 or 3 jobs just to hit that 16,000 in the same amount of time. Well, not even the same amount of time frame. It's almost impossible to get that much with part-time jobs, even in a full year.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So they're giving up what they've worked for less, honestly, just because they're scared of what there is, instead of being like, you know what, let me buckle down and go get the work.
Yeah, exactly. And then, a lot of them are going, they're going to maybe wait tables and that kind of thing. Again, you have some idiots that don't even tip decent. So how long is it going to take you to make that money?
At $2.13 an hour?
And then tips
on top of it. But if they pay you credit card tips, you have to pay taxes on that.
Right.
So unless you're getting cash tips, and even that is not going to be a lot unless you're working at a high-end, constantly busy restaurant.
Correct.
You can't go work at Chili's and expect to make a car payment in one night.
No, we are not working at Chili's making a car payment in a night. No. And you just brought up a good point too. Taxes. We have to take taxes into consideration. And like I said, all the fees that we do have to pay. Not to mention if we're on a split with our brokerage firm, or maybe we're on a team and we have a split with them too. So that 16,000 could, potentially be 9,000, right? By the time you're all said and done with everything. Still, $9,000 is nothing to shake a stick at.
No, and then you got to think about it. You said that they have to retake all these tests in these 25 hours of classes or whatever when they come back in. So you're, in essence, working for you're paying to work for free for at least 25 hours.
We work for free every day.
Single day.
Every day. We work for free. The only time we get paid is if we close something. And if I can tell you how much I've worked for free.
Left and 0.8 miles.
Thank you. If I can tell you how much I've worked for free throughout my career,
over 18 years.
Of 18 years, 18 years next month, actually.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you. So, it's
You're gonna go left. It looks like this turn up here.
Not this one.
Not this one, but where
the truck is. Okay. So anyway, it's
no, not where the truck is. Keep going.
Okay, we're just gonna.
This is very hard to see. Sorry.
That's all right.
When you're dealing with GPS. 0.3. Keep going.
Okay.
It doesn't show that there's a light, but it shows a sit go.
I see it.
The light.
I see it.
Okay.
So anyway, yes, I've worked for free many, many, many times, and over. This may be one thing that's frustrating too for some agents, and maybe why they're getting out of the business, is that they don't know how to pre-qualify some people. They don't know the right questions to ask to be able to find out someone's motivation. So it may seem to them like they're spinning their wheels and getting nowhere, when essentially They just need to be asking the right questions to find out how serious a buyer or seller is.
And that's something that you learn over time in the business, not day one. And if you jump out day two, you're never going to learn.
No, you've got to have the right support. That's why a lot of agents come to me. They want to be on my team because they know that I'm really seasoned. And when I teach them how to qualify someone, whether it's a buyer or a seller, they get it. They're like, wow, okay, I didn't waste my time. Or I got to the root a lot quicker than I would have had I not known to ask these questions.
Mm-hmm. Go left of the light.
Okay. So I can understand the short-term thinking for some people, but realistically, the time to learn about the true real estate market is now.
When it's slow enough to learn, is that what you mean? As opposed to when you have to figure out how to go out and get it yourself, as opposed to it falling into your lap?
Right. I mean, anyone could sell real estate in the market we just came out of.
So that's what you said in the beginning.
You just need to have a pulse.
Yes.
and like a half a brain.
Yes.
And pray that the agent on the other side of the transaction
Also
knows what they're doing.
Yes. Because you said that agents who've gotten in the last 2 or 3 years, so the ones who got in because it was so easy are now the ones jumping ship when it's not as easy.
Right, because they don't know how to get the business.
But you know what? That's good for seasoned agents like yourself who understand that there's highs and lows, but also understand what it takes to sell your home in a market like this and to help you buy a home in a market like this. Keep going straight.
Right. One of the things that we noticed, and we saw this during the last downturn of the market as well, is there's more opportunity for the rest of us that choose to stay in. Now, for agents that are still newer to the business, that love it,
You'll go right at the next slide.
and they want to continue, they just need to get with a really seasoned agent that can teach them how to prospect, where to prospect, what is effective, what's not. You can't just be telling people, oh, I'm in real estate. If you ever have a need, let me know. No. This is a relational business. People are going to forget. If you don't stay top of mind, people are going to forget you when they need a real estate agent. And you have to do the hard work. You have to do the uncomfortable stuff.
I think you go left into that street right there on the left.
Up here. Okay. So you have to do the uncomfortable stuff. You have to call people, you have to ask them for business, you have to call people and ask them if they have an interest in selling. You have to network with people. You have to ask your sphere, do you know anybody? 3 months later, do you know anybody? 2 months later, do you know anybody that needs to buy or sell real estate? It's monotonous, but it's a process and you have to do it. And what's funny is a lot of agents are so afraid to build relationships with people and then ask for business. That's why they can't withstand and stay in the market, because that's the hard stuff to do.
It's a really good ending, just so you know.
Thank you.
It's a good stop point.
Good, because we're almost where
Yeah.
we need to be.
So not this one, but down there.